Hello, hello, hello. Hi guys, this is Faizan, your host for today, and I have Vishal, who is the HR manager at Google, who is the guest for today. And we both will be covering this very important topic of how to get into FAANG and Big Fours. So why I came up with this question is that I was getting this a lot of I was getting a lot of queries on this as to how one can get into Big Four or into FANG companies. So with FANG, we have companies like Facebook, or it's called as Meta right now. Then we have Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. And that's what FANG is. And a bit about myself, guys. So I have around 6 years of experience in recruitment, and I was previously a part of EY, which is a big four. And currently I'm doing freelancing, and I like doing hosting, and I do a bit of LinkedIn optimization, resume review, and the list goes on. So to start off with, I just hope my voice is audible to all of you guys. Okay, awesome. And also another thing before I start off, I'll be taking up a few questions, or probably a couple of questions regarding anything related to FANG or Big Fours. I think later during the call. So keep your questions ready. And yeah, so talking about Vishal, so Vishal is currently working with Google. He's a recruitment manager there. Um, so we met, I think, 3 years back, 2 or 3 years back, when we were with IBM and Accenture, and from there we know each other, and that's how I thought I'll connect with Vishal and take up this session. So hi Vishal, how are you? How are you doing?
Hey Faizan, thanks for the introduction. Yeah.
You welcome Vishal.
So,
So क्या हाल
okay,
चाल,
thank you so
क्या
much.
कर रहे
So,
हो?
बस वही चल रहा है जैसा चल रही है life. Nothing new. Recruitment is always the same. You and I know this very to the core, right?
Correct, correct. So you've been in the recruitment industry from how many years, Vishal?
So basically, both of us started together only. If you are, I still remember you are the one who got me into my very first company, or
Okay.
else I would have still been consulting firms. So I think overall it's been 5 years now,
Right.
and I clearly remember
Mm-hmm.
the first time we interacted
Mm-hmm.
while you were the HR for
Mm-hmm.
Concentrix. You came to my consultancy. I was the consultancy HR giving you candidates.
Correct, correct.
Then I remember that, and then being very honest, if you would not have referred me for IBM or for my first corporate job, I don't think I would have climbed up this corporate ladder till here. So you have a very big contribution in my career. So I don't know, even thank you I think would be a very small word,
Yeah,
being
that's
very honest.
actually I was just like a part of it, and I think it's all because you had that potential, and you showed your true potential during the interview, and that's how you were able to crack, Vishal. So I think you were a great resource. And also to the people who don't know, I've worked with many other companies for a shorter duration, but it's not on papers. So I worked with companies like IBM, Concentrix, and HGS, and I don't even remember what all companies I've worked for. So Vishal, let's get straight into the topic. So
Yeah.
the question here is, how does one get into these FANG companies like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google? So let's say if someone is a fresher, or say someone is experienced.
Mhm.
So what are your thoughts? Can you let us know, Vishal?
So honestly speaking, I have been lucky enough to be part of two organizations within FAANG. My first organization was Amazon, followed by Google, and in both the organization, I saw there's a bit of a difference when it comes to hiring,
Okay.
right? So Amazon do hire freshers, okay, but they have certain universities, they have certain colleges which they prefer to take freshers,
Okay.
or is even if they are taking freshers, then they usually hire on contract basis,
Okay.
which is kind of a third party vendor where you will be working for Amazon, but your payroll and documents will be maintained by some third party vendor.
Correct.
Okay, so getting into Amazon as a fresher might be a bit challenging. However, Amazon majorly hires in AWS. So if somebody is very much interested to get into Amazon, so
Right.
AWS is one of the field. You can have a career change in that particular direction as well, because web services, and they usually hire people who have skill set in either GCP or Azure. These are the two main clouds. If you have skill set in cloud, these two particular clouds, let it be into big data, let it be into I'm talking specific to IT right now.
Correct.
Okay, so
Right.
preference for these kind of candidates in Amazon is way higher compared to other candidates who might have worked on IBM internal clouds or something, right?
Correct.
So that is something that works for people who are very much interested. So apart from that, one of the most popular thing that most of the candidates use these days to come through consultancy. So Amazon does have certain number of consultancies. People who are interested, they can just Google it up. Which all consultancies does Amazon has a client with, and then they can directly contact that consultancy, and they can guide their profiles to Amazon for XYZ profile, whichever is available.
Right.
So this is with respect to Amazon. If you wanna get a very quick response from the HR, okay. Now
Correct.
there is another way where each company, you are very well aware of this, Fazan. Each company have their own ETSs.
Correct.
So in their application tracking system, if I wanna apply for ENY today, or I wanna apply for, let's just say, any XYZ company, I just need to go to their company website, need to upload my resume, need to upload my skill set, all those detail. And one day, if my profile is lucky enough to come in the sight of any particular HR, I might get a call.
Correct.
So that also works, but chances of that is very less.
Correct. Correct. Got it, Vishal.
So yeah.
Okay, so just a follow-up question, Vishal, here, as you mentioned about AWS. So so what kind of an
Hmm.
experience have you hired in AWS? Is it for freshers, experienced? What is the experience range, Vishal?
So I have only had experience, as I said, for freshers. They usually prefer from certain universities only,
Correct.
which is covered within campus hiring.
Correct.
So when it comes to experience, that is kind of an hiring I have done back at Amazon. In AWS, basically anybody who had done a course on AWS, anybody who might be into cloud computing but do have a bit of a knowledge on AWS, okay,
Right.
the kind of profile if I have to come to, so big data engineers is what we have hired. We have hired for cloud engineers, cloud infrastructure engineers. So these are the most highly demanded profiles in Amazon when it comes to IT hiring.
Right.
There is other side of it as well, the
Correct.
non-IT side,
Mm-hmm.
but that is not. That's kind of, let's just say, very seasonal. Like
Correct.
we do hire for business analyst, and we do hire for data scientist. But
Correct.
that is very seasonal. That like once a quarter those kind of opening comes in.
Right, right. Got it, Vishal. So season. Okay, so have you hired anyone, say, who was not from AWS background, but as the person had done some certification or course, have you hired such candidates also?
Yes, there are certain
Awesome.
exceptional cases. So to answer this, I'll just tell you a bit of a brief on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, and the same procedure is followed here in Google as well when it comes
Correct.
to hiring.
Mm-hmm.
Post an initial HR discussion, that's the screening round, to
Correct.
check the fitment of the candidate.
Mm-hmm.
A candidate needs to go through at least 4 different rounds of interview. So
Right.
these particular interviews are taken by the panel members of that particular department where that opening has come up.
Okay.
Okay, so
Right.
the interviews will be taken by senior people,
Okay.
and as in when you proceed, the seniority of that person who's taking interview will also proceed.
Correct.
That is something how it is done over here.
Mm-hmm.
So to coming to your question,
Hmm.
we have hired certain candidates who
Right.
does not have hands-on experience on AWS, GCP, or Azure, these cloud technologies.
Mm-hmm.
However, having said that,
Hmm.
they were very much confident enough during their interview. They were very much convincing enough during their
Right.
interview that panel member came back and said this person might not be 100% match, but this person can definitely learn and grow. There is always a scope of improvement in such resources. So
Correct.
even if there were such cases where they did not even did courses on cloud, but
Right.
they did have a bit of a relevant experience in big data here and there, bit here and there on coding, they were good. So basis those factors technically and the way a candidate presents themselves during an interview,
Correct.
right? That matters a lot. As an HR, when I used to take interviews, for me it mattered a lot.
Correct.
Like, how do you present yourself? You might not be, the greatest person on this planet. You might not be the best resource for a company,
Correct.
but do you have the capability to become one? Become one? If yes, and that can be sensed during interview, 99% chances that you're gonna get that job.
Right. Got it. So, like how one presents themselves and the confidence that they have and how convincing they are also plays an important role.
Correct.
Okay.
Very much. I'll just tell you one incident. This recently happened, in one of my hirings here at Google itself. Now,
Right.
since we're doing virtual hiring, so there was we were hiring for, cloud engineers,
Correct.
infrastructure engineers over here,
Mm-hmm.
and the number of applicants are huge.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So what we did, we usually don't prefer this. We usually prefer to have one-on-one conversation, but because the applicants were too many, so we asked each applicant to join a particular group. We made a Google Meets link, and each link had like 5 to 6 members joining it. So it kind of became a virtual group discussion.
Correct.
Okay, so that
Okay.
we can emphasize the time over it.
Right.
So all the group discussions, people came in formals. They're completely, fully groomed, both girls and guys. They're like in that full impression that I need to leave an impression on Google, something like that. They came in that mindset. But
Correct.
when they started talking, I did not feel that they had that zeal in them. However, there's this one guy. His name is Zishan. I still remember him, and he is. It's been a year. I've hired him,
Right.
and I hired him as a senior executive, and today he's a team lead for that
Okay.
same team.
Great.
So Zishan came in very casual way. He was not like very formally dressed or something. He came in a very casual sense.
Right.
He was like in his t-shirt. He was very comfortable. The way he was very comfortable. And then I actually asked him that question during that JD. That what, Zishan, can you tell me? So as you see the entire crowd nearby you, everybody is very formally dressed and all. Why did you choose a casual wear? So
Right.
he responded very nicely, saying that Vishal, if this job requires me to change the way I am, and if does not allow me to be the way I am, then the job does not make much sense to me.
Right.
So I would appreciate if the company can accept me the way I am. In return, I'll make sure company gets whatever it's expecting from me. Trust me, that one line hit me so much. It's been a year. I've taken his interview, but it kind of leaves a mark.
Correct. Correct.
So, and trust me, if tomorrow, if I move out of Google to some other company also, if it's an among FAANG itself, and if tomorrow somebody says, do you have somebody who can come for our cloud infrastructure team to lead? The first person that will stick my mind will be Zishan.
Right.
Then the other people who have given interviews in that 95 slot. So it's about how you leave an impression. That also matters a lot.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely agreed to it, Vishal. And also, talking a bit about Big Fours. So, even I'll just give you my little bit of experience what I've had with Big Fours, and how I've seen the trends over here. So usually, Big Fours, these are like audit firms. So to name them, there is say Deloitte, EY, PwC, and KPMG. So what I've seen is, on my first observation is regarding the busy period. So usually the year end is, say, around March, April, and just 2 3 months or say 4 months before that, which is say from December to March or December to April, 4 5 months is a very busy period for most of the people in the Big Fours. That's what I've observed. So that is our season in Big Fours. And I've seen or I've heard from candidates, saying that I've worked for 12 hours, 13 hours. So I don't know what craze it is, but even I was someone who wanted to experience what happens in Big Fours. And while recruitment, I wouldn't have so much of pressure, but yeah, the people whom I've hired, the say auditors or people from taxation, they had to work their ass off, and they would work for 12 hours, 13 hours, or even 14 15 hours at times. And I think that would be for the 4 5 months during the busy season. And another thing, or another pointer I would like to mention here is, as I was hiring mostly for the audit teams. So I used to hire a lot of chartered accountants. So if there's any chartered accountant listening, you have a good chance of getting into Big Fours. So apart from these Big Fours, we have our Indian subsidies as well. So for I don't recall the names, but I'll try to recall at least one or two. For EY, there is an Indian subsidy called as SR Bartley Boy. Then for PwC, there is, I'm not getting the name, some SBC or something like that. So there are these Indian subsidies for this Big Fours where you could join if, in case you are not getting a job in a Big Four. So I'm just giving you guys some ideas as to how you guys can get into Big Fours, or at least closer to Big Fours. And a few other things what I have seen is, mostly Big Fours will hire candidates from other Big Fours. So I've seen that a lot. So I recall hiring for data analysts, I think a couple of months back, and the hiring managers would say want candidates from other Big Fours itself, or say in worst case scenarios we could look at IT companies. And so that's how it is in Big Fours. These are a few points which I'm able to recall, and I'm just trying to recollect a few other thoughts. And in the meantime, I'll ask Vishal a few questions. So Vishal, I've been observing, I've seen many of my friends talk about this, that they're not getting calls in the last couple of probably weeks or months. So what do you think, how's the market? Do you think the market is in a bad shape? What are your thoughts, Vishal?
Honestly speaking about this particular topic, Faizan, that we are aware, right? There's a recession that has been going on for a while now,
Correct.
and unfortunately, Amazon started firing people left, right, center. Then Google followed the same footstep, followed by Microsoft.
Correct.
So what usually happens is, like, if the big players in the market start, because most of the people they wanna get into big fives or big fours. That is like the dream company. Yeah,
Correct.
okay. So when they see such dream companies do not provide that kind of stability, and it is a very uncertain scenario. Like, anytime you can be asked to leave. I
Correct.
myself have observed so many termination letter going on a daily basis, being from the
Right.
HR department, right? The mailers keep on coming in.
Right.
So so honestly, because of this recession, yeah, I do agree. There would have been days where people are not getting calls because there were not much opportunities during this recession time.
Correct.
People, the number of jobs versus the number of people who wanted jobs, the ratio was way apart.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many people who have lost their jobs through and throughout, right? So for people who are not getting calls, one
Mm-hmm.
thing I used to suggest them on a regular basis, they
Mm-hmm.
should be active over LinkedIn on a daily basis. So this is what even I used to do when I was in Accenture.
Right.
On my LinkedIn column, wherever there is this notification for job application,
Mm-hmm.
morning 1 hour I used to spend on that. I used to go there, check which all companies there are openings, right?
Correct.
Then I'll apply on LinkedIn through that particular company. Then I
Mm-hmm.
separately go and search
Mm-hmm.
for that company's, recruiters or that particular company's, you
Correct.
know, workers on LinkedIn itself. I'll try to make a search and I'll try to reach out to them if they can guide me to the HR. Okay,
Correct.
somehow. So I used to do that on a daily basis, which used to consume at least 1 hour of my time. And trust me, for 3 months, no calls, nobody felt like even responding back to me on my LinkedIn that, hey, you know what, I will get back to you. At least that response I have not got. So, okay. So that was a bit, what to say, disturbing
Depressing.
because
Right.
I wanted, yeah, it was kind of depressing. Like, I was questioning myself, is my career even moving ahead? Will I
Correct.
be within this service based organization or not?
Right.
Right? But
Right.
luck did favor me through one
Hmm.
connection. Somehow
Right.
my resume reached to a person in Amazon. Then they gave me a call. Then they had a 1 month long interview process. Somehow I got through that. Similar thing happened for me in Google as well. As you
Right.
said, Big Fours, right? They usually prefer other people from Big Fours. Same stands for FAANG as well. Although they hire from all the companies, but the preference is always within FAANG organizations.
Okay.
So
Got it.
that is something that is true over here as well.
Right. Right. So some similarity. And how about the referrals, Vishal? So I've seen in EY that no, we used to give a lot of preference to employee referrals. So is it the same in Google and the FANG companies? Well, what is your thought about this?
Yeah. So, see, in Google also, we do have this referral system. They have a timeline as well
Right.
to make sure that referral is responded. If let's just say your friend is working in Google and they have sent a resume either to their manager or to the HR
Right.
for any relevance, it's work profile.
Right.
So now that also depends. Let's just say I'm an HR who is hiring for business analysis kind of a profile or data scientist profile.
Right.
Okay, but the referral profile I've got, that's a C++ developer or Java developer.
Correct.
So technically, I don't have a job for him. There might be a job in Google for Java developer, but if within my span,
Right.
since my span revolves around non IT or a BA data scientist kind of a role, I don't have any work for a Java developer. I'm just giving an example. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
So in certain scenarios, what HRs needs to do, that's the protocol. We need to upload that on our internal portal. Okay, and whenever we do a search like Naukri, LinkedIn, there's our own internal portal. We have that searching option, right? So
Correct.
let's just say you are an HR who's hiring within Google for Java developer. You
Correct.
will put the relevant keyword for Java developer, and this profile will automatically pop up in front of you. So with
Correct.
all the details, like this profile was referred by so and this particular date,
Right.
and this many people have contacted this profile. So what is their feedback? That is how things work here in Google,
Right.
and it's a very similar kind of thing even in Amazon, but in a different way. It's the process is almost the same.
Correct. Got it, Vishal. And okay, and another question, another thing in my mind is regarding the applications. So, so you might have say posted jobs or might have received applications whenever you're posting jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think the
Mm-hmm.
number of applications you receive are like very high, and how do you like tackle that? How do you respond to applicants? Are you able to, or you're not able to? What is it that you do, Vishal?
See, the thing is, this is a very difficult situation to handle, and I'm so sorry if my response might offend a few people. So I am being apologetic at the very beginning itself. So what happens is, Faizan, you would have faced this as well.
Correct,
As soon as you
absolutely.
put a job opening out there, okay, number of application floods in like anything. Like
Correct.
everybody wants to apply.
Correct.
And let's just say if you're putting that application for with respect to a company which is a big for a big five, the second you put the name EY Google on the job application, the
Correct.
number of application automatically goes double fold. Okay. And the
Correct.
problem in that is people just see EY. There's a chunk of people, well educated people, but they see the name EY and Google. They
Right.
don't even go through the JD what we're looking for. You might have posted a job that I want a CA for taxation purpose,
Correct.
but you will end up getting profiles. I myself have got profiles for developers. I've got profiles for BPO agents. I've got profiles for all. Like if I've got 90 profiles, I would suggest. I will tell you among that 90, somewhere around 30 to 35 will be relevant.
Correct.
Remaining all will not at all be relevant to that role, right?
Correct. Correct.
So it becomes difficult to tackle that. So usually what we do is we do distribute the resumes among the team,
Correct.
and then we filter out like whichever resumes are relevant to the job for which we made that posting,
Correct.
and then we reach out to them individually, how much ever it's possible humanly.
Correct, correct. So even I resonate with that, Vishal. So I face the same issues. We get a lot of applications, and though we try our best to view and try to say share feedbacks with the rejected ones, but at times it becomes really difficult to respond to each and every person. But then we give it a shot. Like, we try our best to do how much ever we can, but in the process we miss out on a few candidates.
Correct, correct.
And I think that's
Yeah.
that's one area, you can say, that's a problem, you can say. However, probably things can become better, I think, in the future. And okay, so I'll be taking up a few questions, Vishal, from the
Sure,
audience.
sure.
So I think in the next 1 or 2 minutes, if you guys have any questions, I'll take it up. And before that, just a few more things I would like to tell about Big Fours. uh, for freshers, what I've usually seen is, so I'll say out of 1,000 candidates, almost 25 to 30% of those candidates get hired from campuses. So in campuses, you can say mostly there are chartered accountants, or say MBA freshers that I've seen who get hired. And the most famous two profiles are, say, assurance or audit, and the second profile is taxation. So these are the two most popular profiles that I have seen get hired from campuses. And off campus, I've seen, again, taxation is one of our service lines, which hires like 365 days. And say, if you are someone who's willing to get into taxation, a few skills for which I have hired personally are, say, related to corporate tax, then partnership tax, individual tax. So if you guys want to do any certification, any course, and probably change your career, chances are you could probably do a certification or course on these topics: corporate tax and partnership tax. So, all right. So, apart from that, another last thing is, so we have four service lines in EY. First is assurance, second is taxation, third is consulting, and fourth is strategy. So if you are experienced person looking to get into any big fours, then you should have some sort of an experience in any of these service lines. Like, it should be related to audit or assurance, or your experience should be related to tax, or it should be related to consulting or strategy. So that was about a big four. So I'm opening the forum for questions, and I'm just inviting speakers. So we have Shubhankar. So hi Shubhankar, what is your question and who is it for? Shubhankar, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I'll. Shall I?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, thank you for allowing me here. I have just one question. I have total 4.5 years of experience, in which 3.5 is in uh, Marcom and branding
Okay.
in healthcare company,
Mm-hmm.
and now I moved into health tech company.
Okay.
So now I want to transition my domain in from Marcom to business analyst.
Mm-hmm.
So the issue is now in this. I mean, health tech company. It's a startup company, so I'm in most of the verticals,
Right.
uh, considering the market analysis, computer analysis, then the making process in the team. I mean, setup process in the team, creating SOPs and all. So when last year when I was looking to all the JDs, what are the tools I need to learn? Then there are tools like Tableau, Power BI, and SQL are there. So I learned all of the tools which I have now intermediate knowledge, and all these tools I applied in my current organization. Now the problem is I'm trying to get job in BA domain, but in any way I got rejected because they asked me that on which project you have worked in,
Right.
uh, from the IT domain, means from the IT industry company, which I don't have because I am not in the I mean not working in any IT company.
Right.
Okay, so I'm trying to be in BA role, either I mean industry, either in IT industry or the BC, means business consulting industry. So how do I get into those industry or those companies?
Okay. So Vishal, do you want to take up this question or shall I take this up?
I can take this up because I can
ठीक है.
relate to him
Sure. Sure.
a lot. I myself.
Hello.
So the
Vishal, I guess we
ask from
lost you.
people is,
Okay, yeah, we are able to hear you now. I think there's some
yeah. Am I audible
background
now?
noise. There's a lot of background noise.
Uh,
I guess you're playing with a
okay,
keychain.
1 second. No, no. Actually, I'm using my earphones.
Oh, okay.
Okay. How about now? Is this stable enough?
This is perfect. Yes, Vishal.
Fantastic. Okay, so Subhankar, as I was saying, so there's always a smart way of answering things. Okay, so from an HR perspective, when I'm if I'm taking an interview, I might ask you, do you have experience in BA using Tableau or Power BI? Did you, do you know how to do data visualization? I might ask you all this question. Do you have hands-on experience in all this or not? Okay.
Sorry to interrupt,
Do the
Vishal, in
experience.
between.
You can
I'm
add that I can say
unable to hear.
they
Sorry to interrupt, Vishal, in the middle. Your voice is not
okay.
clear.
Okay, how about now? Is it clear now?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
yes.
Please continue.
I my earphones.
Vishal, not able to hear you properly again.
Okay. So Okay, Faizan, you just take it ahead. Let me come to a place where there's a better network. Just give me 2 minutes, huh?
Sure,
Take
sure.
it ahead.
Yeah, sure. So Shubhankar will wait for Vishal to come back, and we'll take up other questions. And once Vishal is back, we'll ask him to take your question, Shubhankar. Yeah, and
Sure, sure.
okay. So next, so guys, if you can try to complete your question within 1 minute, that would be of great help, and so that we could try getting in as many questions as possible. So next is Muhammad Azam. So Azam, what is your question and whom is it for?
Hi, sir. Thank you for letting me talk here. I had a question about my experience because I know JavaScript. I've been doing JavaScript for 5 years now, and I know Python. I did Python for a year, and I've taught Python to other people. So I was just asking you if that's enough experience. I did Firebase as well.
You have done?
Firebase. Firebase, Angular, Java, C,
Okay.
C++, C Sharp.
And what's your age, Azam, if I could ask?
I am 10 years old.
Okay. So, are you looking for a job currently?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure if we've hired anyone of that age. Usually it's 18 plus that we hire. But then I really appreciate the skills that you've acquired. However, you could look to partner or probably do some kind of a freelancing work. That's what I can recall or suggest you as of now. However, there are n number
Okay.
of opportunities that you would have, Azam. So I think one or two skills are sufficient, but as you mentioned, you've having say experience in so many skills, so that is like very rare. So I think that is too good. So just keep developing your skills. That's what I would say. And yeah, thank you so much for the question, Azam. I hope I was able to answer. If not, you could ping me. We could probably connect again over LinkedIn and talk about this more. Thank you so much, Azam, for the question, and really appreciate uh, the
You're welcome.
skills you acquire or you have. Thank you, Azam. And next we go to
Thank you.
Saurav Tiwari. Yes, sir. What is your question? And let's try to finish it in 1 minute. Saurav Tiwari. Okay. I'm going ahead with the next speaker, Suraj Pandey. Suraj, what is your question? And you have 1 minute to let us know.
Yeah, hi Faizan. My question is to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been working in Infosys from the last 2.5 years, and I have been looking for a switch in Big Fours,
Mm-hmm.
either EY, PwC, anyone.
Right.
But the point is, I have experience in Java, Spring Boot, and technology, and I'm looking forward to consulting roles or such. But right now, according to the whatever people I have reached out, I'm not being able to find the appropriate jobs or handles where I can apply or go ahead. But I have heard that the referrals work in EY or
Correct.
referrals work in the Big Fours.
Correct.
So I've been looking for Big Fours referrals, but they have also told me that please look out at the career pages and go ahead with that, and you report me about this.
Right.
So the career pages right now don't have much opportunities according to my skills. So I'm like in my college days I was just one step when I was not selected in EY because it was a campus placement. They had to select only 3 persons.
Right.
So I'm now right now after an experience of 2.5 years, I'm looking forward to joining Big Fours, but it's quite difficult for me, and I'm also an immediate joiner. So I'm just looking for answers that how can it be possible at this point.
Okay, sure, Suraj. So what I have seen is, like you rightly said that going through reference would add an advantage to your profile. So So instead of say getting in touch with HRs who don't usually respond, you could get in touch with the people from your same profile, or in your case you mentioned it's Java, so you can try getting in touch with people who are working with EY in this Java field. Try getting references from them, and obviously it wouldn't be easy. Try following up with them. I think somehow you should get a response, and also try applying directly, because as we already spoke previously, I and Vishal, that the number of applications will be too high, Suraj. So chances are that the position might have filled, or the application is still being viewed, or the position is on hold. So you never know, so just keep applying. Try different ways. That's what I would suggest. And I think somehow you should be able to get some link to any of the big fours, Suraj. That's what I would say. And yeah,
Yeah,
we
thank you
can
so
we
much.
can also connect over LinkedIn. You can probably ping me, and let's try talking more there as well, Suraj. Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Thank you so
As you
much.
said, that yeah, the applications sometimes get viewed, and it
Correct.
gets the HRs view the applications or the resumes get downloaded. But yeah, the point of contact or anything has not mentioned. Even
Right.
not I can contact them, neither they reach out to me. So it's been
Right.
difficult for me, right?
Right. I totally agree to that, Suraj.
As I told that I'm an immediate joiner, so my next whatever offer I have from an IT company only. But yeah, still my it's not fulfilled that my expectations are too big for. But in case if I don't get that offer or been big four, I have to ultimately go ahead with that because
Right.
it will, as soon as my notice period ends, then there's no point in sitting, right?
Right. Absolutely, Suraj. So my suggestion here would be keep trying. Even if you don't get into a big four right now, probably it could be 6 months later or even 1 year later. But that's what I would say. Just keep trying. But see if you could get some referral, because when I got into EY through a referral, so referrals work. So that's what I would say. And thank you so much for the question, Suraj. So we have just a couple of more minutes now, and we have a few more speakers, so we'll try to finish this as soon as possible. So our next speaker would be Vikas Singh Rana. So hi Vikas, you have 1 minute. What is your question, and who is it for?
Okay, Fazan, thank you for including me.
Hi
The
Vikas.
basic problem which I'm facing right now is I come from the background of sales.
Mm-hmm.
I started my career with Byju's. I was one of the founding member in Byju's.
Correct. Okay.
And currently I'm standing at an experience of 7.5 years. Okay.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So now if I look at the strategy and the hierarchy positions that are there in my organizations or the kind of edtech. When I say edtech, it means Byju's, Extramarks, Meditation, Toppers, Vedantu, these kind of edtech companies.
Correct.
So hierarchy is pretty well defined. You join as an associate, you move to a senior associate position, then you become a manager, then senior manager, AVP, VP.
Correct.
When I look at the openings at these big fours, they specify it as consultant. I met people who are working as an individual contributor, but still they are at a package of 40-45. And you go to a team lead position and still they are working at a package of 25. Okay.
Correct.
So currently I'm standing at 7 year experience wherein I'm having a package range of 30 LPA. So I'm looking forward for an individual contributor or a team lead position into Big Four, that too into consultant role, purely into sales consulting.
Correct. Okay. Right. Okay. So
So
because
I'm not getting which position to apply. Yeah.
okay. So I'll just give you a bit the hierarchy about EY. So here usually we start the first designation is a staff, and then we have say associate, and then senior associate, and then we have say assistant manager, the senior manager, then say it goes to associate director, then sorry, it is assistant director, then associate director, then director, and then partner, and principal. So again, the experience ranges, or it depends on the experience and the skill set that the person brings in over here. And so
Yeah.
you're trying to get into sales consultant. Is that your question?
Yes, I am looking forward to apply for sales consulting role, even if it's an individual contributor role. The target is to get into Big Four.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So now the thing is, if I apply for a position and if I get rejected, I guess I'll be not able to apply for next 6 months. So rather than applying for a wrong position, I want to gather some more information about the positions, which later on I'll pass on my CV to you in your DM, so that you can go across and you can suggest me things, the changes which I can do, the developments which I can do to my profile, so that I will be a right fit there.
Sure, sure. And because this one thing which you said, that if you're applying, you cannot apply, like if you get rejected, you cannot apply for 6 months. That's not true. So I'll just give you a background here. Even for others, if they had this doubt. So if you're applying, so for say a position A, so if you are getting rejected for that position A in say your technical interview round, that is when you cannot interview for that position A for the next 6 months. However, you can still go ahead and apply for position B, C, D, or whatever it is. So only if you are rejected in the technical interview round is when you cannot uh, say try again, like for the next 6 months. So that's how it
Okay,
is. So
okay, just a second link question to it
yeah.
is do we really have positions which are completely into consulting, which doesn't require technical background? Although I'm an engineer, but I did not went for any of the tech jobs.
Okay, so see, I've been a part of the audit assurance hiring team. I've been a part of like I've been supporting consulting for a very short period. I've hired for like IT roles or programming roles. So I wouldn't have an idea about the non-technical part, Vikas. However, I can try getting in touch with my colleagues from EY. Probably thanks to your question, I'll try getting in touch with them. I'll ask them. If there are any non-IT related requirements, probably you can let's try to connect on LinkedIn, Vikas, and you can let me know the question. I will try connecting with my colleagues here, and I'll try to resolve this.
I literally waited for you for this 15-20 minutes to just get a connection. The idea is, if you look at the HRs or any person from the talent acquisition team
Correct.
across this big four who are available on LinkedIn, their connection numbers are way too high. They are above 150,000.
Correct.
So when you DM, it's really tough to get in touch. So yeah, I'll connect with you and I'll pass on the doubts. I'll not take much time of other people. Thanks so much. Thank you a lot.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, Vikas. And just to add on, that as I'm not working with a big four anymore, or you can say I'm jobless, I don't get any questions anymore right now. So you have a good opportunity to get in touch with me, and I will be able to easily reply to you.
Thanks.
So,
Thanks, buddy.
all
Thank you
right,
so much.
Vikas. Thank you so much for the question. And moving on with the next speaker, who is Om Prakash Bharti. And I think before that, we have Vishal again, who's joined us. And so, Vikas, you'd like to take up Shubhankar's question?
Yeah, am I audible now, by the way?
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's all perfect.
Fantastic. Just to keep it short, Shubhankar, please make sure when you're responding to an HR, if your experience is not exactly what they're looking for, but be smart in a response. Okay, for example, most of the people do this one particular mistake. When I take their interview, they end up telling that, you know what, boss, I have 60 days notice, I have 90 days notice, which becomes a roadblock for an HR to hire you, because the ugly truth in the hiring world is, I want everybody to join me immediately, but at the same time, from my own organization, I'm not ready to let go anybody immediately. That's unfortunately a very ugly truth. So the second you say I want to have a 90 days notice, I have a 60 days notice, it becomes a bummer. So there's a smart way of saying it. You know what? I have 60 days or 90 days of notice, but it is very much negotiable. I'm on a very good terms with my manager. I'm on a very good terms with my HR. I have a lot of leaves, paid leaves left out. I can balance those things out, which gives an HR an assurance that you might be able to join it soon. And once an offer letter is released based on that assurance, trust me guys, from an HR hiring point, it is easier for me to wait for you guys to join in whenever an offer is released at a later point in time than to hire a person from ground zero. Okay, that's a lot of tasks, a lot of approvals goes in one interview round. So Shubhankar, just to answer that, this was just an incident to just to make you explain this. So just to answer your question, when you say I don't have experience in any IT based project for BA role based applications or something like that in Tableau, or I only have my interest based that I on that I did something or that, you instead of that go ahead and tell them, my current job role does not allow me to explore Tableau to that extent how it is being used by other people who are doing live IT projects. However, based on my interest, I've learned Tableau and I am applying it on a daily basis, and I am pretty good at it. Okay, you can go ahead and test me. If you feel free to ask me questions, I'm more than happy. I can definitely respond to all technical questions. You need to be picture solid when you go ahead and say that. So it's how you represent yourself. If you go and say that, even then the HR will have this thing in the mind, this person is not from that particular background, but yeah, this person is strong enough to get things moving. So that's one way to represent yourself, Shubhankar.
Thank you, Vishal. Thank you for your kind words and guide me how to respond such questions. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Faizan,
much.
and thank you, Vishal.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Shubhankar. And also, if you think you've not, if you still want to connect with Vishal, you can do that. You can probably ping him. He'll be able to help you more on this, Shubhankar. And thank you so much for the question, Shubhankar. So moving on, so we are just left with, I think we have exceeded, but still, I'll just take up the last three questions from our last three speakers. So just moving ahead with Om Prakash. So yeah, Om Prakash, what is your question and whom is it for?
Hello, good evening. Actually, my question is pretty simple. Like every company is asking for some experience. Right now, I'm a fresher. Just completed my BTech, but I have also worked with some companies like 2 year of internship experience, but that's not count in a normal experience, right? So how I can fill the form for all the companies? Most of the companies are asking for approximately 2 year or 3 year experience.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Vishal, you would like to take this up? How is it? Or shall I take this?
Yeah, I can. I'll just tell one incident from IBM. If you want to, you can add, if that's fine.
Sure.
So, Om Prakash, you can do one thing. Kindly go to IBM pages. IBM hires band 3 at a very large volume, and they don't have any such restrictions. Faizan would agree with me that candidate needs to have 2 years of experience, internship, or something like that. Band 3, that is a fresher based hiring which happens in IBM in bulk. At a time, they pick up for finance, software, tech support. I think 150, 170, that is how the number goes in IBM. Please target IBM. If you're not getting response, IBM team works Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. The HR team works in Manata Tech Park. Go and do a direct walk-in, talk to them directly. Trust me, these methods might look shameless, but it has worked because it kind of shows how much intrigued you are for a job compared to other people who just want to sit and wait for opportunity. Kindly don't wait for opportunity. Make your own. Directly go and go as a walk-in if you want to talk to them. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, IBM team sits in Malta Tech Park, that is G2 block, and two of my very close friends are in the HR team, so I know how much bulk hiring they do in terms of freshers.
Right. So just want to add on, Vishal and Om, that this is in Bangalore, Manyata Tech Park. I'm not sure if you are from Bangalore or from any other location.
No, I'm from Kolkata.
Kolkata. Okay. Then probably for speakers who are from Bangalore and if they are freshers, that would be helpful for them. And okay, thank you so much, Om, for the question. And if you still want to get in touch, you can or always ping Vishal. He'll probably take up any questions. And thank you so much. So moving on to our next speaker, Shifali.
Thank
Hi, Shifali.
Yes, hi. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. So basically, my question is, I'm like struggling to find a job for Deloitte. I'm looking out for Deloitte, and I'm from non IT background.
Okay.
So I started my career after completing my masters in December 2021, and I'm working as a data analyst. I'm just looking out for. So my domain is basically into research. It's like secondary research, data, dashboards, and stuff like this. And I'm looking out for Big Four. Basically, I'm looking out for Deloitte, and I also figured out a few of the profiles matching my candidature. And also, I do keep a check in this thing that even before applying for a job, I do check on my resume and as per the job description as well. I make some changes as per the job description so that for the words or something,
Correct.
it gets added and I'll get preference or priority.
Correct.
But still, so I do one thing that I try to either connect with LinkedIn connections or try to figure out the email addresses of the HRs who are looking out for the concerned position or the managers for the positions and profile. But I've applied for 2 profiles at Deloitte, and so in this year only, and even last week only, I got a mail from one of the one of the manager from Deloitte that they are not looking for. They are looking for someone from some selective colleges. So back-to-back rejections I have faced just for the sake the name of the college. So
Okay.
I'm just looking out what I can do or what I can have to do to look into such things. If my skills or something, what should I do to figure out such things that colleges are not considered for my profile?
Okay, so I'll just take this up, and Vishal, you can add if you want to anything. So
Sure, Faizan.
so see, in concentrics, when I was in concentrics, Shifali, we had a few universities, like no higher universities or restricted universities. So I'm just assuming that might be the case with you in Deloitte. So I'm just assuming that. So there might
Okay.
be certain universities through which they're not hiring candidates, and that, so these universities would be,
Yeah.
you could say 5% out of the 100, you can say. So very few universities they wouldn't hire.
Okay.
However, I don't have the bigger picture here.
I want to add one thing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, please tell me, Shifali.
I just want to say, there are few of the colleagues, my seniors as well from my college, who
Okay.
are placed in Deloitte in
Acha.
audit and assurance profile only.
Acha.
So I don't think that there is something related to college. It could be possible that maybe for some for some selective profiles, they are not looking for some sort of colleges or something. Though up now I have I have passed from that college, so I can't go again and have to do masters or something. So what should I do now to get into Deloitte?
So,
Yeah.
so see, I would highly recommend, don't restrict yourself to only Deloitte. Keep trying with other big fours as well. And even if not right now with Deloitte, probably sometime later during your career, keep trying with Deloitte. But I would say just keep your options a bit wider as of now. If and also you are selectively applying for jobs, as you mentioned, you've just applied for 2 jobs. So so if you,
Which matches my candidature, because
correct,
it's not like I'm not applying for IT or something. So some profiles which are in which domain I want to go. So something into research or the job description which matches where I am currently into. I'm just applying in those only, rather applying for n number of jobs which does not even looks up to as per my profile only. Also, I just want to add one thing. So last year I got a referral for tax
okay,
at Deloitte. So they for tax profile. Can you hear me?
yeah, we can, yes.
Okay, yeah. So for tax profile, they considered my candidature and they even sent me an email for the very first round, which is like was and test. But I really don't want to go into tax profiles because I really don't feel like. Just don't want to. So that's why I didn't went for the test. But yes, they considered me and my college and everything for the profile, for this profile. And I believe for tax, they do hire for 365 as mentioned.
Correct.
So yeah, I believe there is some selective profiles only.
Correct, right. So yeah, I've seen this trend, people getting hired for taxation. However, even I don't have a bigger picture here as to why or from which backgrounds, or from different backgrounds if they are hiring. But my suggestion here, Shifali, is keep trying, keep applying for relevant jobs. Obviously, try to apply for as many jobs as you can, so that your say chances of getting interview calls become higher. So the more jobs you apply for, the more interview calls you'll get. So that's what I would say. And as the market right now, what I believe and what even Vishal said, it's in a very bad shape right now. So in fact, even I have not got any calls from any recruiters. So I think it is a tough time right now. But yeah, that's what I would suggest. Don't give up, keep trying. uh, Even if not right now, probably 6 months down the line, or it could be 1 year down the line, you will surely get some idea. You will surely get into Deloitte, or it could be into any big fours, fangs, whichever company you're desiring for. That's what I would say. Don't give up and keep trying. And
Okay,
Vishal, you
sure.
have
Thank
anything
you.
to add? You're welcome.
Nothing much. I think you covered it all. Just one thing, Shefali, if you're not directly able to get into Deloitte, as Faizan said, keep on trying and keep a target on other big four, because there is a trend that big fours usually hire from other big fours. If you have ENY or PwC in your resume, you never know. You might get a call directly from Deloitte. You don't even have to go and apply there.
Correct.
So that is also one thing that you can.
Okay, yeah.
Right, right.
Sure, thank you.
That's a good point, Vishal. Thank you so much for covering that. And so the last speaker for the day is Momita, and the other speakers, I'm really sorry, we will not be able to take you guys up, as we're already say beyond our time. So you guys can ping me, and we'll take your questions there. So yeah, Momita, who's your question for, and what is it?
Yeah. Good evening, Faizan. Good
Hi.
evening, Vishal. So my question is, Faizan,
Yeah.
and Vishal, anyone you can answer that. I am a recruitment in the SAP partner companies. You know that gold partner, silver partner companies are in the market. So I'm working in Bangalore for last 4 years, 7 months. So right now, how should I prepare myself as an HR? HR manager or something. I want to designate myself. So how should I prepare myself to enter in a big four or any big MNCs? Could you please guide me?
Sure, Momita. So Vishal, you'd like to take this up?
You take this up, Faizan. I'll add my few points at the end,
ठीक है,
if
sure.
that's fine.
Sure, Vishal. Cool. So, so Momita, what I've seen in Big Fours is there's nothing in particular that they look for. It's what I have seen is that it's only the brands that they look for, and someone who has good communication skills, and they should be able to do the work. And
Okay.
I before I joined the Big Four, I was with Accenture. So they just looked at
Okay.
my brand, and basis that they hired me. So it could be a small brand or a brand which is probably trending, so you can get into that, and then probably try applying for Big Fours, or keep targeting bigger and bigger companies. So that's what even I did in my career.
Okay.
I was with smaller companies, and then I slowly started targeting bigger companies, and then the Big Fours. So after say successfully say probably applying for 5 years consistently is when I got into a Big Four. So it wouldn't be easy. The
Okay.
journey would be a bit difficult, but then keep trying. And was that your question, or is it a different question, Momita?
Same questions. Thank you for this input. But I'm asking that nowadays when I'm searching for the job in recruitment profile, not recruitment profile, it not consists in the sourcing, screening, or interviews, ATS maintaining. Apart from this, there is a lot of features included in the recruitment. Like you have to know the Excels, data analyst, some of the other features it will maybe some performance management will be there included. So there is every company have their own structure and they have maintained their recruitment team only. So in suppose I am working for last 4 years in the same manner, not in the performance management, not in compensation benefit. There is a lot of working area in the HR. Suppose we are going to looking for the some big company, suppose Accenture, Capgemini, or Cognizant. They are looking for apart from the recruitment, they are candidate have to know some different skills. Then how should I prepare myself?
Okay, all right. So I'm just reiterating as to what you said, Momita. Is that the companies nowadays are say looking for recruitment experience and with that some other skills. Is that your question?
Correct.
Okay, okay, all
Correct.
right.
Correct. Yeah.
So see, based on my experience, Momita, what I've seen is mostly say if your profile matches even 70 or 60 70% of the JD, the company would hire you. So obviously, it's
Okay.
rare to get candidates who will be 100% fit to the role. So in
Correct.
case
Correct.
the if the company is unable to find such candidates, they'll obviously look at someone who is 60 70% relevant to the profile. So I've rarely seen such profiles where they ask for recruitment plus any other things. But yeah, apart from or along with the recruitment, I've myself done say market intelligence, a bit of data analysis. So that is say part and a parcel of any projects which you take up in the company. So there would be some side projects,
Okay.
or some volunteering projects that certain companies would have. So it might be because of
Okay.
that. So that's my idea, that's how I see it. However, Vishal, you can add your thoughts here.
So just to add to your point, Faizan, Momita, you need to accept one particular thing here, that as in this is the age of AI. Okay, this is we are no longer in that age where manpower leads everything. India is a country with a lot of manpower, right? But this is the age of AI. One AI can replace all of us. We can have a AI talking about this. Faizan and I am not needed. You guys are not needed to listen. AI can do everything. So in order to make sure we are still at the top of the food chain and we are still worth getting a job in the market, we have to keep on upgrading ourselves. When I was in IBM with Faizan, I was doing end-to-end sourcing, from sourcing till getting the candidates. Even Faizan has done that, to making sure all the candidates are there in line. They're like 200 people coming in, walk in, managing them, getting all the resumes in place, getting the offers released. When I came to Accenture, that is when my eyes opened up that sourcing, they have a separate team altogether. Okay, I thought sourcing is something a part of recruitment, but when I came to Accenture, I got to know sourcing, they have a separate team. They just simply give the profile. You need to do other HR activities. When I came to Amazon, I was asked to do data analysis. I was asked to do market research. I was asked to handle vendors. So we need to keep on improving ourselves. If you see your profile is demanding for it, asking for it, it's up to you how much you upgrade yourself, because let's face it, the second you are not able to clear it, or you say I don't know, there are 10 more people standing behind you, there are 10 more people standing behind me to replace both of us. If I quit today, I know within next 2 to 3 days Google will have one more recruiter in my place. Same goes for you. So we need to upgrade ourselves to make sure we are not replaceable. We need to upgrade ourselves in every skill set to make sure that other job that we are looking for, they come and give us. We don't have to prove ourselves in that manner. We just say, you know what, I know this, and I've done that. It's as simple as that. That's my view.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Sure. Sure. Thank you so much, Vishal. Thank you so much, Momita. If you still want to get in touch with us, you can, always ping us. We'll try to resolve your query there as well. And
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you so much, Faizan, for
thank you so
your
much,
both of your
Momita.
input.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And yeah, I think we've exceeded, our time limit. It was supposed to end at 9:15, but it's 9:40. So to the other speakers, you can get in touch with us, either me or Vishal, and we will take up your questions over the chat. And that's it for today. So most probably in the coming week we'll come up with another topic. So you guys can let us know. You can either ping me or Vishal, or if you have any topics, or if you have any questions, any queries, and we'll be there to resolve it. So thank you so much, Vishal, for being there. It was really
Thank you, Faizan. Thank you for arranging all this. You
sure.
deserve the thanks more than me.
You're always welcome, Vishal, and looking forward for the treat. And
Definitely.
and you know which treat it is, right?
I know.
Okay, got it. All right, then. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you for all the listeners for being there. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Closing the call. Your host Faizan here. Thank you so much. Love you all. Bye.